So for those of you who don't know who Evrim is, as Joe mentioned, we are a prospect generator. We're focused on copper and gold assets, focused in the Americas. Started off in Mexico in 2011, the porphyry belts and gold belts down there, and moved up into northwest British Columbia, particularly Golden Triangle, and then on further into northern Canada. And most recently, we've moved into the western U.S. So we are squarely focused within the Western Cordillera of North America. Our partner subset, the market we like to focus on, is the mid-tier senior producers. So we've done a lot of joint ventures, alliances with those types of groups, and also royalty companies over the past 7-8 years, which has actually transpired into a significant amount of spending on our projects by our partners. We are one of the few juniors today that has a significant amount of cash in the bank with close to $12 million, so we're pretty happy about that number. And we've also got a lot of activity that's going on right now. We've got 4 active drilling programs that are either underway or about to get started. So we've kept very, very busy. And you know, the way we like to look at Evrim is more than just a prospect generator. We've got a lot of other things going on, including standalone project. We've got a royalty portfolio, which I will also touch on here shortly. So the way that we like to look at Evrim is through 3 key value drivers. And obviously the first one is our bread and butter. That's the joint venture project generation alliance type business. And we have 4 such partnerships today, 2 joint ventures, both down in Mexico. And then we've got alliances throughout the Americas, both with Newmont and Yamana. And that type of business has, over the number of years, has transpired into all the other things that we do. So when we look, we have a royalty portfolio now, and I will spend some time on the Ermitaño royalty. That is a 2% NSR that we've got with First Majestic Silver down in Sonora State. And then the way we also like to look at Evrim is in terms of sort of our growth and how are we going to change over time. And so we always knew that at one point we would find a project that's so compelling that we would take our risk capital and put it into drilling our own project, and that's what Quale became. This is a high sulfidation target down in Mexico. It was a subject of a $7.2 million investment by Newmont back in September, and so that partially explains the reason why we have the cash that we do today. So, getting on to the Quale project, again, as I mentioned, this is early stage high sulfidation target located in Jalisco, Mexico. If you've been to Puerto Vallarta, you've been very close to Quale. It's about 30 kilometers to the south, road accessible, so getting on the project is easy. Very large land package, and this was a project that had never been explored before. So when the first surface results came out over the course of 2018, it generated a lot of interest, and it's the reason why a lot of people started to notice Evrim. And so we had some fantastic trench results come off the ground, 250 meters of 1.67 grams per ton gold in one trench, 150 meters of over 9 grams per ton gold in another trench. So it certainly created a lot of interest. It brought a lot of mining companies down to the project over last summer, and as you now know, Newmont stepped forward with a $7.2 million investment, and that gave us the funds to get the next round of exploration underway. So we started drilling on the project late last year. Unfortunately, the results that we've had to date haven't quite met the expectations of what we discovered on surface. And so we currently have a team down on site, our team along with the high sulfidation team from Newmont, along with some consultants, Dixilito being one of them, and we're trying to figure out sort of the next steps for Quale. So we've got more work to do, we've got results to come, we've got certainly some more drilling to do, and then we'll try to figure out where we go from there. Next up, our royalty portfolio, and certainly I'll focus on the Ermitaño royalty. So we're moving out of Jalisco State, we're up into northern Mexico and Sonora State now, and we're in actually what we call the Rio Sonora Valley, and it's becoming quite an area. You've got the Santa Elena mine being run by First Majestic, you've got the Mercedes mine being run by Premier Gold, Las Chispas is now being developed by Silvercrest, and now you've got Ermitaño West, which is a 560,000 ounce silver or gold equivalent resource. And so a few key important things about the Ermitaño deposit is one of which it sits 3 kilometers from the mine boundary where Santa Elena sits. So this is not a full-blown mining development program. This is going to be something that's more of a digging and trucking operation. So your cost of getting there and time to get permits is much lower. It's open at depth. It's open to the west. Some of the deepest drill intercepts on the deposit to date is 32 meters at 6.3 grams per ton gold equivalent, so lots of room to grow. And the third thing is First Majestic, started a 13,000 meter drilling program last September, and I suspect they're still underway with that. They announced a couple days ago that they are working towards a production decision with the Ermitaño West deposit, so we're looking to see what comes off of that in the time over the next while, but we're very excited about that. We also have another royalty in Kumobabi that sits immediately south of the Ermitaño project, a little less development and drilling as well. So now we're going to stay within the Rio Sonora Valley, move 40 kilometers to the north. This is the Serape project. We staked this project in the same reasons as what we saw at Ermitaño West. We brought in Coeur Mining. They came in midway through 2018. We did the first round of work on the project throughout the fall and early winter. So sampling, mapping, we've done some geophysics. And so next month, and if so in about 3 weeks' time, we're starting a 2,500 meter drilling program on the project. So we hope to see the success that we saw down at Ermitaño West. Hopefully we'll see some of that rub off on the Serape project. So fingers crossed, and lots of news to come out over the springtime with this project. So moving down into Chihuahua State now, this is the Cerro Cascaron project. This is a low to intermediate sulfidation gold project. Never been explored, probably since at least the 1950s, certainly never been drilled. Our partner is Harvest Gold. It's the one deal that we've got with a junior mining company. And so Harvest did some surface work over the past year. Late last year, they started on the first ever drilling program on the project. They're still in that project in terms of drilling, so we've got more holes to do. They've got results to come. So exciting times to see the information that comes off of this project, but certainly a good amount of news flow. So getting on to the alliances, we have two such alliances. One is with Newmont, and this is for large-scale gold exploration in the Americas. So we're looking for gold deposits in excess of 2 million ounces. This has been a 2-year, $1.8 million reconnaissance exercise to generate new targets, new ideas. And if a project comes out of this initiative, it ends up going into a predefined joint venture, and the crux of that joint venture basically being that Newmont funds a pre-feasibility on a minimum 2 million ounce resource. So this alliance is now winding its way down. We are in that project selection phase, and so we're hopeful that over the next while there will be a project that comes out of that. If so, we will expect to see some sort of drilling program take place over the summer. Our final alliance is with Yamana Gold, and this is an alliance that we struck late last year, so this is very early days on this. And this is effectively taking data and turning it into new projects, new ideas. And so it represents 7,000 different areas within the western U.S., and each area has its own various set of data points. And it's data that was generated by FMC, by Meridian Gold, and is largely in a paper format, so it hasn't been looked at in a very long time. So it's our opportunity to get it in a digital format and get it into a relational database, at which point we'll start to generate projects. So it's a 4-year alliance, and like the Newmont alliance, it goes into predefined joint venture terms. Yamana has the option to take any project generated off that. If not, it becomes 100% owned by Evrim. And at the end of this alliance, both parties get to keep a copy of the data set, so it becomes a key tool for our project generation for the future. Bit on the company info and the structure. So 84 million shares outstanding. Management still owns approximately 8% of the company. We've got 11.8 million in cash. That's at the end of 2018, so we're still and remain well funded. We anticipate that through the various drilling programs, as I mentioned, we've got upwards of 4 that are going to take place that we see today. And plus all the reconnaissance initiatives that we've got and generative initiatives we've got underway too. It's about $4 to $5 million of partner-funded work for the year. You can see the other participants within our capital structure. Altius Minerals is a large shareholder. Adrian Day Asset Management is, I think, now a 15% shareholder. They put out an early warning report yesterday. And it's still largely retail held. 50% of the company is held in retail hands. So any questions? I think we have the session right after this, but also please feel free to come by and talk to Charles, Liliana, or myself at the booth. Thanks very much.